This is a video recording for California Environmental Quality Act project mitigation of the redevelopment of 735 to 755 Harrison Street in the city of San Francisco. This narration is provided by Hannah Simonson at Page & Turnbull, and the date is March 10th, 2020. Video recordation occurred on March 9th, 2020, prior to project activities on the site. 735 to 755 Harrison Street is located on the southeast side of Harrison Street between 3rd and 4th Streets in San Francisco's South of Market neighborhood. Designed by Bliss and Faville, the brick building was constructed in 1906, soon after the earthquake and fires devastated that area. The building was constructed for the Union Lithograph Company, which was established in 1888 and was considered distinguished in its field by 1906. The Union Lithograph Company contributed to San Francisco's printing industry until this location closed in 1946. The building is eligible for the California Register of Historical Resources under Criterion 1 for its association with the Union Lithograph Company, which was one of the older and larger companies during the period when San Francisco was central to printing in the western United States. The building is also eligible under Criterion 3 as a good example of a classical-style industrial building by master architects Bliss and Faville in the immediate post-earthquake reconstruction period. Character-defining features of the building include 1- and 2-story massing, brick walls, brick piers with a built-up brick base and capital and brick cornice, and the wood entry bay with a pedimented doorway and narrow side lights and transom, as well as the wood windows and transoms, and a flat roof with sawtooth clerestory windows. The windows on the primary facade are rectangular wood windows with 30 divided lights, each with a one-light wood pivot transom. A metal roll-up garage door is located at the northeast end of the one-story portion of the building. The northeast portion of the building is 2 stories with 3 double-height bays. The 2-story portion of the building was permitted in 1929 to provide offices. Each of the lower bays has a transom window, one of which has divided lights. The windows at the 2nd story are fixed wood windows, 2 of which have air conditioning units, and 2 of which have upper divided light transoms. The northeast side facade faces a surface parking lot and is unfenestrated. A hollow metal pedestrian door is located at the south end of the facade. In 1953, the building was converted to an automobile garage owned by Barrett Garages Incorporated. At the time, the garage door was adjusted to accommodate the new building use. The interior of 735 to 755 Harrison Street is primarily an open warehouse space with concrete floors and exposed brick walls. Large wood posts support the exposed wood frame ceiling. Along the northeast brick wall of the warehouse building are doors that connect to the adjacent 2-story office portion of the building. Clerestory skylight windows provide natural light into the interior warehouse space. Two areas of enclosed office space are located at the center and the west corner of the warehouse. The central office area has a mezzanine with a kitchen and office space. Along the southeast wall of the warehouse is a vehicle ramp accessing Perry Street and a concrete staircase accessing the basement at the far southwest corner of the warehouse. A mezzanine level has been constructed along the southwest and northwest sides of the warehouse. The mezzanine has a series of small rooms and a kitchen area. We are currently in the portion of the mezzanine along the Harrison Street side of the building. We have just descended a set of stairs near the center of the Harrison Street side of the building and are walking past office areas that are underneath the east mezzanine. We are back in one of the two main spaces of the warehouse, looking east toward Perry Street. We are now moving into the northern of the two main warehouse spaces. Another mezzanine level is located along the northwest side of the warehouse with windows that face Harrison Street. We are now walking towards the Harrison Street side of the building under the northeastern mezzanine. Below the northwest mezzanine is a large vault. Next to the vault is access to an unfinished basement that extends the footprint of the original building. The basement has wood supporting columns. another vault, an old sump pump near the Harrison Street side, and an old boiler on the Perry Street side. We have now moved back out to Harrison Street and are looking at the 737 Harrison Street entrance of the warehouse, where we originally entered. The two-story office portion of the building is not currently accessible from the interior of the warehouse, but is only accessible from Harrison Street. The office building has small divided office spaces that have since been used for a variety of purposes. We are now walking up the stairs located along the southwest side of the two-story office building. We are now at the second story of the office building. A typical hipped skylight is visible here at the second story of the two-story office building. We are moving through a series of small rooms on the second floor. A rooftop penthouse is accessible from the inside of the two-story office building at 735 Harrison Street, but is physically located above the roof of the one-story warehouse portion of the building. An unfinished basement is located below the two-story office building. "130 Perry Street abuts the northeast facade of the 735 to 755 Harrison Street building at the rear of the lot. The 735 to 755 Harrison Street building is built out to the lot line at both Harrison Street and Perry Street. The elevated I-80 freeway, constructed in the 1930s, runs above Perry Street, immediately south of 735 to 755 Harrison Street. The rear facade of 735 to 755 Harrison Street has a corbelled brick cornice, a single metal roll-up door, and repeating recessed windows set in segmental brick arch openings. At the rear facade, windows are 30 light wood windows with divided light transoms. The transom windows are rectangular, although set into arched openings. The southwest facade of the building abuts the adjacent building at 765 to 777 Harrison Street and is unfenestrated. The tall metal vent and billboard visible at the top of the roof at the southeast corner of the building are also character-defining features. This concludes the walkthrough and video recordation of 735 to 755 Harrison Street.